Hey, what's up guys, Weekly Light here, and today I'm gonna go over how to get a blue axolotl in Minecraft 1.17. This video will include how to use this farm, how to build the farm, and also just axolotl stuff in general. If you would like to skip straight to the build, I will probably put a timestamp in it, but first I will go over how to use the farm. So basically, to get blue axolotls, you just gotta breed a whole bunch of them using buckets of tropical fish. Buckets of tropical fish are what you get when you put a tropical fish in a bucket. Um, you then get buckets of tropical fish, and you head over to the axolotl farm. Just have a pool of water, and you go 1, 2, and then they make a new axolotl. That axolotl that they make has a 1 in 1,200 chance to produce a blue axolotl. Um, it used to be such that you could spawn them, or I mean not spawn them, they would spawn naturally and you could get one, but they changed it in the latest pre-release, which I'm not on by the way, that you can no longer get them, you can only get them from breeding. This is my baby boy, the blue axolotl. I got him from these yellow axolotls over here. And yeah, or he's cyan, and I couldn't tell. But I did get this guy from blue, or from these yellow guys. So since he's not yellow, it suggests that he is the blue one. I got him very early, as you can see. It only took me a few axolotls to get that guy. How this farm functions is basically you go to a warm ocean biome, and you create a big chamber of water up top, in which fish fall down here to be collected with a bucket. I'm trying to go more in depth, but you can skip this part if you really don't want to listen to it. So basically, there's a big chamber of water here. Oh, perfect timing. And as you can see, the chamber of water empties, and then all the fish that would be here if I wasn't already high up would be pushed down into the bottom there, and it refills with water. So these hay bales push them into the middle. I will go into how to build this hay bale thing here. This is built incorrectly. As you can see, it's sort of crushing the corners there. You don't want that. This was synced incorrectly, and also the design I have could be improved upon. Definitely that's not the optimal way, but I will teach you the optimal way. Yep, so basically it just funnels fish down here. The other key thing is Ilmango designed this thing down here, in which there's a little fence gate. It's a little hard to see, but a fence gate under a pressure plate down there. And then when you press this lever, you can push them over, and all the pufferfish are too small and they'll fall down below. All your fish are nicely lined here. Get the bucket, press Q, and it goes over here. So I've been talking about Ilmango. So basically, the reason I'm doing this video is, for one, I don't get any money from this because I've been banned by YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, there's no good tutorials on how to actually build a blue axolotl farm, because getting tropical fish takes a lot of work. Ilmango did do this peaceful challenge number 83, in which he goes over, as you can see from the little preview there, his farm that he built, but he doesn't teach you how to build it. So I had to watch the video and try to reverse engineer it, which is led to this, my janky version of it made out of netherrack. It is manual. It is not using an auto clicker. I find auto clickers to be cheap. And it is very small scale. As you can see, I only have 4 double chests for fish, and I feed them as I go. The strategy that I've been using is I just set a timer for 5 minutes. That's the time it takes between axolotl breeding time. So I give the fish to the axolotls, and then I start the timer. Then I collect fish for 5 minutes, and then I bring the fish over the axolotls once the 5 minutes is over, and you rinse and repeat. I have torch towers here to control the shifting floors, and also I have a etho hopper clock down here below to control the water cycle. The way this works is the more water you have up top in the storage area here. So as you can see, my tank here is pretty big. I think it's a little bigger than Ilmango's. I went with a very big thing. It can go up to 40 blocks tall, but the more water you have, the longer the delay has to be, because water falls slower when it's at the top than at the bottom. So basically, this big tank here has to drain, and it drains so much slower than it fills. So the bigger the tank, the more delay you need. So my tank up there, which is about, you saw how big it was, requires looks like maybe 80 items. So that's like, I forgot how many ticks that is, but basically it's a pretty long delay between emptying and filling that thing. But I still have plenty of fish, as you can see down here. Copious amounts of fish. Yes, just get a bucket, right click, and then press Q to drop it in. I have two hoppers here, which I believe is an improvement over Ilmango's single hopper design, but that's about it. Yeah, so I'll get into the build now that you understand how it works. Yeah, I recorded this earlier and it didn't go so well, that's for sure. It was taking so long since there's so many blocks. So I built the whole thing for you guys. Anyway, so screenshot this. This is what you'll need. You'll need about I think you'll need like, I have the exact numbers here. You're gonna need like 80 observers, 80 sticky pistons, 89 hay bales, 81 fence gates, 81 trap doors, um like 40 powered rails, like four repeaters, two hoppers, two comparators, a fence, and a pressure plate, and some levers. Two axolotls. The most important thing is two axolotls. I always do recommend bring extra stuff. Do not, like, I have here 96 of things that you need 80 something of, because you're building over an ocean, you're gonna lose your stuff. So just do this, and if it's your last one, you can do F3 plus B to show your bounding hitboxes, and then if it falls in the water, you can more easily spot stuff down there. And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's actually very loud for me, so I'm turning down my music. Okay, so let's get into, oh, I almost trolled. So in addition to these materials, you're also going to need a lot of building blocks, scaffolding, chests, buckets for iron, redstone blocks for your redstone dust needs. Redstone torches is what I use to power stuff. You're going to want torches, just normal torches, to keep your build lit, because when you're building over the ocean, mobs spawn very heavily, and if you have a dark corner, it could lead to you getting overwhelmed by mobs. Definitely you want to bring wood and cobble also, and you want to bring enough obsidian and a flint and steel for a nether portal to get here if you don't already live close to the biome. The biome of choice is a warm ocean or a lukewarm ocean or a deep lukewarm ocean, I believe. They are any of the biomes, I think, with the light blue water. If you need help finding them, you can go to chunkbase.com and you can find where your nearest lukewarm ocean biome is. So down here, you want to go up to around Y130. You want to be 64 blocks above the water level. So, oh, oopsie. Looks like it's working a little bit. I'm gonna turn music down again. You want to be 64 blocks above the ocean. So I like to build at Y130. But if you have clouds on, you're gonna want to build slightly higher. But Y130 is good because it ends in a 0 and it's nicely rounded. So this is what the basic landing section looks like. You want a waterlogged chest, a fence post with a pressure plate on top of it. This means that any pufferfish that lands on the chest, you can push the lever and it will be pushed down and fall through the hole. My design I had hoppers and chests here for collection and like a half slab up top, but you can do whatever you want. This is the bare bones minimum. Bare bones minimum. Ilmango's design had something for it had water here, I think, to cushion the fall of some fish, but I find the losses from that fish is nearly negligible, so you should be good. Then up here is the hay bale pushing mechanism. You want to put this 20 blocks up at Y150, and you want to have these 9 hay bales here on the bottom, and then you want to have these hay bale pushing extender things. This is my own original design. I honestly looked at Ilmango's thing and said, I got no clue what's going on. So I saw he used powered rails and observers, and I just went from there. I think this is pretty similar to what he had, but I'm not 100% sure. Basically, you want to build this donut ring here. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count. You can count how long it is. But basically, you make a little donut ring of this, and then it can power any observer that lies along this line. I have a little slice here of what it looks like. And in addition, over here is the design. So the redstone block represents any hay bale that should be pushed. So basically, you'll build this inverted hay bale pyramid, and then behind any redstone block here, um, any redstone block would be a piston. So that, and then that is one too close. You put the piston there, and it gets power because it's a redstone block. But basically, anyone with a redstone block here is one that should be pushed into the middle. Since it goes clockwise, it'll push this one that way, then that one that way, that one that way, that one that way, then retract, 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 and then it'll just keep cycling around and around. So basically, these hay bales here can be stationary along the diagonals, and it's like a zigzag sort of. You want to go this way if it's clockwise, but if you have your redstone wiring going anti-clockwise, you want to invert it to go anti-clockwise. These hay bales in the corners don't actually have to be hay bales because they go under the walls. But the reason you use hay bales is so the fish don't take too much fall damage. Yeah, so just make sure that these hay bales are pushed by pistons, and you don't need to push the ones in the diagonals. And this is the biggest chunk, so at most you'll need 4. But like, let's just say you're doing this row here, which only has 2, the top 2, right? You would just build this exact same thing, but without the bottom 2, so without that, and then you make the hay bales go back to the correct spot. Up here, so above that, so on the level of the topmost piston would be F3. Y154, you want a 9x9 grid of fence posts, or not fence posts, open fence gates. So you're going to want to place these in a 9x9 grid and open them up. And then this is the water chamber here. So it's water can't go through these, so that's why we use open fence gates. So you can make this up to 40 blocks tall, because that's the spawning range of fish. I think mangoes look to be about 20-ish blocks, maybe 15. I think mine's like 25. Like I said earlier, the bigger it is, the longer delay you need. Because as you see here, it takes a while for even this small tank to go down, and then I send the next wave of water down. When you build this, you want to have all 81 trapdoors waterlogged up there. But for this demo, I just have a singular strip here. So once again, 9x9 grid of trapdoors, waterlogged trapdoors, so they hold the water when unpowered, and then when they're powered, like that, right on cue, it drops the water down. You want to make a redstone block here that will power. It can power the entire 9x9 grid if it's just in proximity. I have it hooked up here to a hopper clock, just like in my one that I had in survival. And this one looks to have like around 20 to 30 items in it for this smaller tank. And my bigger tank had, I think, 80 in it, so that gives you a perspective. The more water you have, the more spawning space, but also the longer it takes per cycle. So there's probably some best efficiency point. But I'd say if you make it just like 20 blocks, maybe 15, I think that should be fine. I think this might be a little too small here in all honesty. But yeah, you want to build it further than 24 blocks away from the platform down there, but within 64 blocks. So that gives you a 40 block maximum height. If you want to build the hopper clock, this is just a very basic hopper clock. I'll float above it so you can get an idea of what it looks like if you want to screenshot this. And in addition, you just, let's just say, to fine tune this, if your water is draining, let's wait for it to drain. So if it drains, right, and then the next blade of water comes down and it catches up, that means you don't have enough delay. It means you got to put more pause in it. So what you do is you'd add more glass to it, and it will take longer in between each cycle. But if there's a lot of time where there's open air, like here, now that I added more, hopefully it'll do it. if the tank stays empty, that's also a loss in efficiency, right? So if it empties like this and there's no more water, you can feel free to remove some glass to get the timing better. So then you go up here, you just take out a few, maybe 4, maybe 7, right? You take out 7, and then you just fine tune that until it allows for the tank to drain, but then it refills it in a timely fashion. And yep, so that's the basic idea. Oh, I forgot to go over this. This is the clock down here. It goes clockwise, and I just have an observer here on a piston that, so when the observer's not here, the circuit breaks, and you put it in, and it sends a 1 pulse tick around in a clockwise fashion. And yeah, so just be sure. Oh, that's why you use torches. Um, so fish spawn up there, they fall down, and you bucket them here, and then you put an axolotl pen nearby, and you breed them up. So hopefully this helps you make your own axolotl farm. And oh, there's fish here. Perfect. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I don't get paid for this video, so don't watch any ads. Please use ad block on this. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching.